once we started scrimming, and I was like, wow, this is actually like a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Like everything's kind of falling into place.
Yeah.
I was like, we can really win at it. Like we could be the best team.
Hello and welcome Inside the Nest with Weeds, Eric Perez, current coach of Dallas Fuel, current Winthrop Overwatch coach, long-standing collegiate Overwatch coach, contenders coach, professional coach, owl coach, et cetera. Thanks for talking to me.
Of course.
I just wanted to bring you in, especially because of the recent news with Fuel. You guys went over to MV after the prior team, and then you got to build something pretty cool, especially with like MV and Fuel like returning to Overwatch.
Yeah.
What? Tell me about like the process of like getting over to MV and like how the off season like kind of went for you with all that in consideration.
Yeah. So at the start. Well, honestly, the off-season kind of starts at the last LAN for Overwatch. So, like, in Sweden, I was talking to, like, some of my GK guys, which was the last team I was on, is GK Esports in NA. And, I was talking to Ultraviolet. Me and him had teamed for a long time. And I was like, let's try and do something with maybe Hawk and Lenny. It's like maybe try and – it made sense to, like, consolidate, like, the two of the best teams that weren't Liquid into one team.
Yeah.
And that ended up happening, but it happened without me. Like they went to Space Station Gaming, and I guess I don't know if it was budget or if they didn't want me, but they're like, we're just getting one coach. Like pretty much it was like if I was gonna join Space Station, it would be like for free as a volunteer. So I was like, well, I really don't want to do that. But, Ultraviolet messaged me basically when they all got on Space Station. They're like, hey, we're going to Space Station with Christopher, who's their coach and who was already the coach of Space Station.
Yeah.
But he was like, the NV spot should be like pretty open, So after finding out I wasn't going to be with my normal crew of guys, I guess the guys I had been with for the past year, I was like, okay, well, I really need to get on a partner team still. And I had heard from the start that Disguised was going to be more of a budget operation. So I didn't want to really do that because I've been on like the Vancouver Titans and stuff. I've been on like budget teams before and it's really not fun. It's super stressful. So I was like, I have to get on with you, right? So I started messaging Tasma right away, who's the GM. And basically it was between me and a few other guys, but the other guys all... I'm the one that got chosen, so I was very happy with that. And then pretty much, he's like, "Hey, Yang was interested in coming back. He worked with us in the season they won the OWL Championship. He worked with Fuel before, and Tasmo highly recommended him. So he's like, we want to bring you and Yang, and you guys can build the whole roster." So I was like, okay, sounds good. I'd love to work with Yang. I had just worked with Gultech the year before. I like to have work with a Korean coach again because they have like a different some different views on the game. So It's like good to have both perspectives. Like, I have like NA brain and he's Korean, so we have different minds. And then, we built the roster over the course of December. I pretty much wanted Kellen from the get-go because I was like, I need a Korean tank that can speak English, that can play all kinds of heroes. And he had improved a lot in Korea in the past year playing on Onside Gaming. So I really wanted Kellen. So he was pretty much the first guy we went after. And then I was like, there was basically a list of like Korean Flex DPS I was thinking of reaching out to.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically asked Yang, who's the best one out of this list. I don't really want to give the full list because, I want to be disrespectful, I guess. But, Sunjun was the one that we're like, okay, this is the best. This guy's the best guy. We're watching his VODs. Like, yeah, this guy is legit. So we're like, we want Callan and Sunjun right away to import and then kind of build around that. And then Chronic and CJ were just like the obvious choices for hit scan and flex support. We're like, we need NA players. These guys are the two best available. Let's go get them. And then main support was kind of the iffy position that we kind of took a big gamble on. Not a gamble in the sense of the quality of player Luke Mino is, but he's literally like he's a flex support. So, he's playing out of position.
Yeah.
So, I talked to him a lot over the offseason. I'm like, you really like, if you're going to do this main support thing, you got to really commit, but he ended up giving us our identity as a team. So I think it really ended up working out in terms of roster construction.
Definitely. I mean, you guys are 7-0, right? So it's like something's working right. That Chronic clip was nuts from that.
The Blizzard World one. So when you watch, like as a coach, you can have one coach spectate and you only get to watch first person POVs.
Yeah.
And I like to watch Chronic a lot because the hit scan can I can kind of tell how the game's going by how much space and how he's seeing the game, because he's the one that wants to see as much as possible and be in the back of the map and stuff.
Yeah.
So I watch Chronic a lot and I watch CJ a lot because they're usually in the back of the map so I can see the most. And I was on Chronic's POV when that happened. They actually just put out a comms video today. Because that was right at the game-winning part of the map, so the coaches can talk right after. Right after me and Young were both freaking out. We were like, oh my God,
just insane.
That clip has to go.
Mechanics yeah.
And he did that while we're down in the series as well, while we're reverse sweeping,
He was retaking the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was nuts. Yeah. No, Overwatch isn't my main game, but obviously I like shooters, I like FPS games. So it's I'll see stuff on Twitter and I can relate to it in some points, and at some points sometimes I'll see an Overwatch clip and it's the mechanics of it are too specific to the game itself for me to understand it. But I think that's one of those clips where literally anybody can watch and just be wow, that was
There's
insane.
A lot of tanker support clips where you have to know a lot of interactions, I guess. But a lot of DPS clips are just holy crap.
Just raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That guy hit every shot.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I do want to talk about so you talked about trying to rebuild post GK and going through that process, and how with Space Station it really wasn't working. You've been with UV for a few years. I don't know. There's probably maybe there was time between where you guys weren't a gap, but even from back to we just talked about this, but back to collegiate, when UV was the up and coming support player. Is it bittersweet to see UV go to a different team, or?
I think at first I was more worried. I was I've never. All my best teams have been with UV, so I've had times where I'm not with UV, but at all those times I would be not getting as good as results, or he'd always be on the better team than me. I'd be trying to punch up to him.
Yeah.
So, and going into this season, a lot of people perceived Fuel as a weaker team than SSG, and so I was oh, maybe it'll be like that again. But then once we started scrimming, and I was wow, this is actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Everything's kind of falling into place.
Yeah.
I was we can really win at A. We could be the best team.
Even from the beginning, you just from seeing how you guys matched up, you were pretty confident.
There was probably the first 2-ish weeks of scrims where we were kind of losing a lot to Liquid and SSG.
Yeah.
And I was oh man. But I think that's back when we were trying to force a lot more meta stuff and we hadn't really come up with our identity yet. And then once we started getting more comfortable playing a lot more different comps and playing our style and forcing stuff that isn't the other team's strengths, it was just so much easier.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. That's cool. So I want to talk about Winthrop. Obviously, that's where we are, this wall. In context, we're approaching our championship season, the end of year playoff season for collegiate esports, collegiate Overwatch. You guys are looking to win the national championship in NACE. I want to chat about just how you perceive this team's how you think they can match up, and obviously you guys are a top collegiate team, one or two. It was depending on who's asking, right?
Yeah.
But coming off of the past season where kind of had like the rivalry with the ISU guys and Lethal, et cetera, those fellows, like with that program dissolving and now having like some newcomers enter the fray with like similarly talented players, like Northwood has a Vega, and they have who else does Northwood have? They have a deep roster of like pro, like
Painkiller, Rocket, Haven, Lep, Vega, CJ.
Yeah,
so
they're
a few of my guys from Fuel and some other OWCS players.
Yeah. So coming in, like we had like rocky roads at first in terms of like trying to like make things work, but I think overall, like even with losing people, like the roster's in a pretty good state. Like how do you think the guys fare going into NACE finals?
Yeah, I think this is like probably the first semester where we have like actually no like excuses. There's no issues. Like this is like the prime time to win. Like it's like kind of been set up perfectly for us to have our best results. So I think now it's just on us to actually go get it,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how's it been, man? It's been 2 years and a couple months here at Winthrop, and like, obviously you've been around the block. A lot has changed in the past couple of years with you from like a team standpoint, or like what position you're in. Like how do you recap like your time so far?
I feel like Winthrop has like allowed me to like grow a lot. Like I'm like more at the peak of my powers, I would say, as a coach than I've ever been.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like in my prime now. Like I feel like a lot of like everything before was leading up to like last year and this year, and like now I'm like getting tier 1 results.
Yeah.
And like Winthrop has just been like, there's nothing here to hold you back, like there's so much resources. There's surrounded by people that I like, like it's just like an awesome experience. So
excited to get back to Orlando. Got to take the boys to Disney, right? Win
gotta win
the chip and then go to Disney, right?
So we can start going to Disney World.
Yeah.
Is that World or Land? Yeah, it's World.
Yeah.
Right.
I can never think of it either.
I think the trick is that World is O for Orlando, and Land is LA.
LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the trick.
I want to talk about your like sports pass. Like I know we've talked about this like personally and like just randomly, but you were a football player, yeah?
Yep, I played football from 6 to 16 years old. So 10 years about.
What was it? What was the story there? What position?
I was a little fat kid, so I played football because that's the only sport I could play, and I really loved football too. So I loved like watching football. I loved watching the Bears. I grew up in Chicago. I'm a Bears fan, so I played both lines my whole life. Offensive line, defensive line, and then I ended up being a giant. So I ended up being bigger than everyone, and football is just like the sport you play when I'm like built specifically for that. So then like I kind of honestly sucked at football at the start, probably till like middle school, and then I would say around 7th grade I played on Team USA for football, and like the U14 team or something.
Yeah,
it was like the U14. So I was like 12, I think, and from there on, from probably like 12 to 16 was like I was like really good at football, like one of the best players on my team. And like I went to Catholic school for my freshman year of high school, like recruited for football to a school called Joliet Catholic Academy. It's like the most state championships in Illinois. Like, so it's like a really prestigious football school. Like I had like NFL dreams, like, which I don't know if that would have happened, but I think I definitely could have played college football.
Yeah.
If not, when I was a freshman, I got my first concussion, and then I missed a few games, and then sophomore year training camp, I got another concussion, so I missed the first 4 games.
Yeah.
And then I got another concussion, like right at the start of the summer camp for my junior year, and I was like,
3 is.
I was like, all right, I'm I can't do this anymore. Like I have to stop playing football. And actually, when I quit, my entire team showed up at my house and like knocked on my door. They're like, "Please don't quit. Please don't quit the team." But I'm like, guys, I really can't like risk my. I'm sure I have CTE anyways from football, but I can't be like full CTE, like brain dead by the time I'm 28. You know, like I'm thinking about it now. I'm 26, about to turn 27. And if I had played college football, my brain would probably be like starting to like fry like right now. Like, you know, like I think it would have definitely been over. I don't know what made me so prone to concussions, but like it just happened in practice all the time. Like none of them were in games either. They were all in practice. So
you a center?
No, I was. So I actually played every position on the offensive line. I played so my freshman year, I played freshman, sophomore, and varsity. So I would play tackle on the freshman team, guard on the sophomore team, and center on the varsity team. Like I was the backup center on the varsity team.
Yeah.
And then I played defensive line on the freshman team as well. I played both ways like full time. And then my sophomore year, I transferred to public school. I went to the school like where right by where I grew up. It's called Plainfield South, and I played just offensive line there. They just moved me to just playing offensive line, and I played guard there because I actually wasn't the tallest player on my team. So
that's crazy.
I had two twins. Shout out to the Diaz twins. They were both like 6'7", and they played both tackle positions on my sophomore offensive line. So I think my sophomore offensive line average height was like 6'4".
It's nuts. So, it's different in Chicago, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're yeah, I say Chicago, but it's more like the cornfield, you know. So there's a lot of corn-fed white boys out there, big white dudes. Yeah, I guess every race. I mean, they were both Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican, so but, you know, you just end up just some big people out in the cornfields. So
yeah, for sure.
And then one of the guys from my Plainfield South actually plays in the NFL now. His name's Eric Johnson. He's a defensive lineman. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a really high level team.
So then when CTE, with the concern of CTE and like the concussions, I always heard 3 concussions was kind of like if you get 3, it's pretty.
Yeah.
So you
the
like
third one, the doctors are like, you should probably stop playing football. Like, especially because I was 15 years old, you know?
Yeah.
Like my brain's like not even close to developed yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's when it's like you got to stop, bro. So
then you get to apply that to Overwatch eventually. It's like the competitiveness.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's 2026, so I guess I've been doing Overwatch almost as long as I've been as I played football now. It's been almost 10 years.
That is crazy. Yeah.
This upcoming summer will be like 10 years since I bought Overwatch, which is crazy to think about.
That is crazy. Yeah. We're getting into like the deep era of like all these like newer esports titles. Like there's only a couple that like started like a long time ago, but now we're getting into like the
CS and League are like the Godfathers, and then like
StarCraft.
StarCraft, but I don't know if that's as big.
Not anymore. Yeah.
But
the long
for like
ones,
stuff that's like still people are watching right now.
Yeah.
CS and League are like the Godfathers, and even Valorant's like 5 years old, or 6 years old.
That's
like,
crazy.
There's not a new esport right now.
Yeah.
I guess the Marvel's the newest esport, but I won't comment on the Marvel Rivals viewership that I'm seeing on Twitch.
No Marvel Rivals transition for you anytime soon?
Absolutely not. I remember over the last year when Overwatch was it was right before Overwatch started like bounce back and Marvel was like popping off.
Yeah.
Cool. It was just like Ultraviolet weeds come to Marvel. It's so much better. We get paid so much more. I'm like, nah. Because everyone left in Overwatch like truly loves Overwatch. Like there's no one in Overwatch anymore that's just paycheck stealing. I would say in Overwatch League there's like at least like 20% of the players like were just like, I'm getting paid too much to not do this.
Yeah.
But now in Overwatch is like the opposite, where it's like I'm actually taking less money than I could be making like doing a normal job because I love this so much. Like, you know, at least for most players. And once that's what the grind is for, you know, to hopefully become one of the people that is making or is taking care of well to the point where it's like more than a normal job, but also like I think a lot of these people would be doing this if it was like for free. Like, you know, all these so many people in OWCS just love Overwatch. I think that's what changed how a lot of teams are, like, results-wise, too, is because it's not just talent anymore. Like, all the people left are, like, super passionate. So, like, how much you grind and stuff actually matters a lot now. Like,
yeah. How do you perceive how like NA stacks up in the grand scheme of things? The reason I ask is I know you tweeted like you tweeted which is funny, the like qualifying to the event with players that Space Station Liquid didn't won. I went through replies. I saw one dude, 2 likes, talking shit, saying just like, oh yeah, like NA, you guys do these things, you think it's gonna like work, and then you go over and it doesn't work. Like this thing, like, do you think there's any reality to that? Like, obviously there's Korea's a strong region, like whatever, but like
Europe won Sweden, right? Twisted Minds won Sweden, so, and they were versing other EU teams in the finals. They were versus Alcat, so EU has had its strongest like showing recently, and then Korea is still really good. So that leaves people saying like, oh, NA is the worst on them. And like, I think China has like one good team, but China as a whole region is not better than NA, I would say.
Yeah.
So if you're like objectively just looking at results, yeah, I guess it's EU, Korea, NA, but and then China, and then other regions under that. But I would say that a lot of like that is like really recent, and it's only been since like certain heroes have become super meta, like Diva and Symmetra have been meta for almost a year now. And like all the lands before that, NA did better. Like all of 2024, Toronto Defiant did better than any EU team.
Yeah.
In China last year, we got third. Yeah. NA team got third, and like all the other like the EU teams I think got last place and second to last place. So yeah, the EU teams did good at EWC and Sweden, and the Twisted Minds won the boot camp. Twisted Minds is really insane. Like I'll give it to them, but I think that like gasses up EU too much as a region, because Twisted Minds lost like one map this whole stage. Like, so like to put all of EU on their level, seems kind of like crazy to me.
They have like one outlier, and then they say like our region number one because we have
they have the best team, but I don't know if that makes everyone else as good as them, because even in the preseason boot camp they went 3-2 with Team Liquid and Twisted Minds, and then Team Liquid also beat Virtus Pro. So I know the preseason boot camp was like kind of Mickey Mouse, but if they're going to celebrate, or if people are going to say like, oh, they won the preseason boot camp as their most recent result, then it's like, well, but like Liquid did really good there. They got like, third.
What is the roster? What is like the roster construction on Twisted Minds? Is it like it's European organization, European region
it's
team,
Saudi.
but is it 5 Saudi?
No, so they have Korean flex support. Funny Astro's British. He's their main support, and then TVNT and Quartz are Saudi, and then Jaewoo is Korean.
Okay.
And then they have UB on their bench, who's Saudi, who's a really good like utility player.
Yeah.
Probably the best Symmetra in the world. So they have like a pretty mixed roster, but also like their Saudi players are insane.
Yeah.
Like Quartz is like probably the best hit scan in the world, and then TVNT is like undisputed best diva in the world. So like
in meta, it's
it's really good for them, like this meta.
Yeah.
So
it's been interesting to see how like since like the Saudi Arabian state, like the government and like other things have kind of like invested into esports through like EWC, or they own ESL now. Like they have all these. There's a lot of organizations. Falcons popped up. GK, like all these like there's all this buy-in from that region. You've seen the direct result in a lot of esports where players like that are coming out of the woodwork. Where like I'd say like 5 years ago, like can you reference like has there always been Saudi influence, or is it like
in Overwatch there's been Saudi players for like even these same ones.
Yeah,
but they've gotten so much better and better because Overwatch in Saudi is like they have the Saudi E-League, which literally like has an import limit and forces the rest of the players to be Saudi. So it's been happening for the past like probably since I would guess 2019 if I had to like say off the top of my head.
Okay. It's actually
the Saudi E-League has been going on.
Yeah.
So it's been forcing, and they pay good money to import the best players to play with the Saudi players.
Yeah.
And then that makes the Saudi players better. So it's like they have like this environment where they're playing at LAN all the time, which is like the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Same in Korea. They play every match on LAN. So Saudi, they're playing more LANs than everyone, and they're importing the best players from around the world to play with their players that they're developing.
Yeah.
And they're importing coaches. Like, so there's like all these resources going into making like all these insane Saudi players. Like, and it worked. Like, there's so many good Saudi players now, and there's even more now that are like I swear every season of OWCS a new Saudi player comes in that's like insane. So,
there's like a whole new generation of those the players in that region getting the ability to move up because of what you said, like the getting that like getting the resources and then getting the information from like existing players that have that knowledge.
There's just so much money in EU for Overwatch because of Saudi, and then in Korea there's so much money because it's Korea. You know, they love Overwatch.
Yeah.
Big into Overwatch. And there's Saudi teams investing over there too. Like Falcons is a Korean team funded by Saudi. Like Japan loves Overwatch and they're investing. Like Zeta Division and Crazy Raccoons are two of the best teams in Korea.
Yeah.
They're investing in Korean teams. So NA is kind of like the only place where we don't have something like that. Like collegiate is the closest thing we have to like players playing with pro players that aren't pro, you know? Like, that's like the biggest development we have. Like there's no we don't have a Saudi E-League, or we don't have OWCS Korea. Every match is on LAN, you know, like so
you mentioned kind of like we're talking about Marvel. You said the point where Overwatch kind of like began its like resurgence a bit, like post OWL, post Overwatch 2, kind of like going into like that like era. What do you think? Like, I know they added a lot of stuff, new champions, new heroes. The perk system, they added stadium, like they added all this stuff, like all this content and all this like these changes of the game. Like, what do you think are the biggest like contributing factors to like kind of getting the game back to a state where it's like popular, like overall, like casually and competitively?
I think casually they've been doing really good with like the cosmetics and like all these crossover events. Like they're doing like, it seems like every season they have like a new crazy crossover event. And I don't care about skins as much myself, but I know there's a lot of players like that will start playing Overwatch just because like their franchise is in Overwatch now. You know, it's like kind of similar to Fortnite. And then they've just been like aggressively updating the game with stuff that's fun, like perks, you know, like just new stuff to shake up Overwatch, because like a lot of people had already made up their mind on Overwatch, but now Overwatch is so different than what people made their mind up on when Overwatch 2 came out that it's like people are like, oh, you have to try it again, you know, like go give it another try because it's totally different now. And I think that worked in a casual sense. And then this year for the esports viewership, it's been like over 120K for like every single game. And I think it's just like the drops are really insane because they have all this content in the game.
Yeah.
The esports content that they have no way to sell because they don't have Overwatch League tokens anymore.
Yeah.
And so they're just giving it slowly out through loot boxes. I think it's like genius. Whoever came up with that should get a raise. It's like the smartest thing they've done.
They don't have, there's no store team skins anymore, right? There's
limited time team bundles for the partner teams. So like last EWC-ish, all the partner teams got like 3 hero skin bundles. Okay. And that's going to be a thing again this year. I don't know any details about it other than like every partner team's going to have something in the game, you know?
Yeah.
But they've been, I don't know, you can tell they've been working a lot to try and integrate the esport more into like, to get more viewers. Like, because I think they realize like, you know, the more viewers the esport has, like it makes casual players like go, oh my God, like,
yeah,
Chronic just did a 360 overclock. Like, I want to go play Sojourn. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what got me into Counter-Strike. I was like, oh my god, that guy Kenny S just killed everyone with the op. Like, I want to go play Counter-Strike.
Yeah. So. Overwatch was like built from the ground up with like esports in mind, I think, as well. It's like, so they always had that as like part of the plan, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to bring up the divisive topic of we've the 6v6 to 5v5 change that happened years ago, and how many years has it been that it's been 5v5 now? It's been a while, right?
We got the Overwatch 2 beta in like 2022 February.
And during the beta, it was already 5v5?
Yeah. That was like the change. So when they're like, we're Overwatch 2 now, it's like, it's 5v5.
How do you think about this? Because I know they did like some nostalgia, like queuing, so you could like play old comps. There's like a 6v6 ranked.
They had
queue.
Like classic watch or whatever.
Yeah, like.
And there's still 6v6 queue. It's really popular. It's the second most popular game mode in Overwatch right now is 6v6. So, I mean, I still this whole time think 6v6 is better, but I don't want to be like hung up on it because it's not the esport, right? So. If they make 6v6 the esport, that'd be awesome. If they made it to main mode, it'd be awesome. But for now, it's kind of irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
But like I still probably like 2 weeks ago, I made like a post about I think there's just no way to balance tanks in a way that is fun for everyone that works in 5v5. Which I won't go into a whole rant about. You can scroll my Twitter if you want to see me complain about it for the past 3 years, probably. Or almost 4 years now. So, I'm pretty strong on the 6v6 side of things, but 5v5 is still fun. Like I play 5v5. I have fun. I'm just like, I know things would be different in 6v6 and maybe better, but things are really good in 5v5 right now anyways. So I don't really care too much about it right now,
Yeah.
That's like if everything were to be perfect, but like nothing's perfect,
So. Yeah. You qualified Tokyo, obviously just getting top 2 qualified you, but then you ended up winning the region. How when is Tokyo?
May 19th to like 24th or something.
Oh, it's coming up. Yeah,
like a month away.
Okay, cool. You guys feel confident, obviously?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to we literally know nothing about. So normally it's normal for like NA and EU teams to scrim each other, but we've had players in Korea this whole stage, so he can't scrim EU. And so we've only been able to scrim NA. And obviously we've been kind of beating up on everybody in NA. So I'm really excited to see our level versus the rest of the regions. I'm really excited for boot camp because I think we can improve a lot. Like, I think there's a lot of like improvement we haven't been pushed to because we haven't been pushed that hard in NA, which I don't want to like be like arrogant, but like in NA, like you can see our grand final, it was like 4-1, like the only close series we played really was when we reverse swept SSG in the regular season, and that wasn't a super meaningful game. So I think in meaningful games we've kind of played really well. So I'm excited to see how much we can improve when we do actually get to play versus like really good teams.
Yeah. How do you think obviously given like the scenario that happened with Liquid and like having to like bring in like that I think he was a flex DPS Escanor flex DPS.
Yeah, he's a hit scan player.
Hit scan DPS into a flex support role. Made finals. Even with that being said, or not finals, it made lower finals. Yeah, made a run. That being said, but what are they gonna do? Do you think? Obviously, like a lot of people are locked up. It's like, how do you? Obviously, you may have more information than you want to lead on, but it's like,
I actually don't know. Like, I know they're. I don't know if they're even like replacing Escanor. Obviously, it would be ideal for them to get. If I was the coach of Liquid, I would go get a different player because I think he improved actually a lot. Like there was like a big arc of like Liquid getting better and better. But realistically, I think they reached their cap with like what they could do with their roster. Is probably third place. So at that point, you have to go big. Like, the only way you can win is to make roster changes. Like, if you're capped, that's it, right? Like, so I don't know. I would definitely replace Escanor. I'm not sure with who, because yeah, like you said, there's everyone's on contracts for the whole year. Like, people don't sign short-term contracts, especially from partner teams, which is where most of the best players are.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to actually like dig kind of deep and find someone that is better than anyone expects. Like,
yeah,
we definitely made stuff hard for them by having 2 flex supports on my team, because they would definitely love to have one or the other of them. But that's what happens when there's no main supports in there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
see what happens with that. But so on the calendar for you, you obviously have Tokyo in May, and then hopefully UWC in the summer again.
Yeah.
And then what is the rest of the year? I know the final event is in China.
In China, yeah.
Is it Tokyo then China, or is there in between, or what's the? It's like Tokyo UWC and then
Tokyo UWC China, yeah. And then there's World Cup stuff going on.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Which I'm hoping to work with Team USA on that. So, yeah, whatever the schedule is for World Cup, I'm hoping to manage to be a part of too. So
when was World Cup last year as well, or have they not done
it? The last one was in 2023.
So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
Who won in 23?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia won?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. How
that's also another reason Saudi loves Overwatch.
Okay.
Because that's the best success they've had in an esport.
I see. How do you think everyone stacks up? Do you think US's team is like solid enough to make a deeper run?
Yeah, I think literally like you have to be 18, and like the last World Cup was like right at the end of a lot of players' careers.
Yeah.
And right before like all the Liquid guys and like guys on field, like before all these guys turned 18 was like right that season.
Yeah.
So I think there's like a whole new generation of American players going into this. So it's exciting.
What are the top regions? I mean, you could reference Saudi, maybe like
yeah, Saudi will be awesome. Korea, obviously, China, USA. That's kind of what I think should be the top 4. I'm forgetting anyone, because Europe kind of
it's weird, right?
They're scattered around, so it's a lot harder for them to have really strong.
Are there any like weird like I know like a lot of regions announce rosters. I saw like Turkey is a team with lethal, right? Yeah. So is there any like weird regions that might have like a couple of players that are really good that might be able to like help, or is it really just like because of like how scattered the EU like player base is?
There's good European teams. Like Sweden will be good. The UK will be good. Like there's teams that are full of WCS rosters. Like in like a lot of the European countries. What else? I forget if Finland has. I don't know if they're all playing again, but they were pretty good in 2023.
Yeah.
So there's definitely good European teams. It's just, I think compared to like at least Korea, Saudi, USA, like we just have like more high end players, I guess, like at every position instead of like these are the countries where there's like too many players to fill the roster, compared to the other ones where it's like we have just enough, or like we're one guy short of having someone really good at every spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
did you see the USA Esports announcement with like all the college partners and stuff like that? What's your perspective on like, the USA Esports like Olympic team, like that sort of that thing starting to become more consistent across like all games? Because like there's always been like national competition in a lot of games, like depending on if it's like it was Counter-Strike used to have a lot of national competition. It was
I forget what it was called, but I used to watch it.
I actually think it was like ESWC maybe back in the day, but something like that. There's been a lot of games that have had like that national competition on the radar, but how do you think, like, do you have interest in doing something like that? Obviously in your position, you're probably somebody that they may look towards, especially if like the idea is to scout collegiate and or like top pro players. And again, like Overwatch, where a lot of those people are like crossing over both. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
I mean, I'd love to be part of Team USA. Anything, you know, I have a lot of love for like just like representing the USA, like, and I feel like that's like just like the highest like level, like the highest honor is being like for your national team. Like it's like you're like the best we have in our country. Like that's insane, you know. So anytime I can do stuff for USA, like in 2023, I was doing like assistant coach stuff. Like, you know, I paid for my own like hotel and I paid for my own flight out to BlizzCon.
Yeah.
To be a part of Team USA because like it really means a lot to me. So, you know, I'm hoping I can help out again this year.
You said off of like the USA Esports, but like Team USA for Overwatch, you said you were like wanting to be involved. I know like the way that process works is like you guys, everyone makes little groups of like committees, then you submit a bid to like for like the thing to happen. Well, how did that process work for you?
It was really weird for USA because I applied with Jukebox and Jag, and then there was another like stat committee that was Junkbuck, Kasaurus, and Thug Nasty, who's the GM of Falcons, and Junkbuck's the coach of Falcons, and then Kasaurus is the coach of Liquid, but they didn't have like a socials person, so basically they just took Jag from my committee, and they're like, he's on that committee now.
Yeah,
it kind of made like, I guess like a super thing, out of like that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So yeah, they ended up getting the USA like official committee spot, but I'm still like, I was helping in tryouts with them. Like, you know, I'm still definitely going to be a part of Team USA, even if I didn't get like the head coach spot. I still like, I don't care about titles so much as I just really want to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's like the Overwatch event. Like since 2016, World Cup is like the biggest event. Like it means like so much more in Overwatch than it's kind of hard to describe. Like even winning like a major in Overwatch isn't as much as winning World Cup. Like that's like the peak.
Yeah. So it's been going, I mean, it hasn't been going on consistently for 10 years, but it's like 10-year anniversary of the beginning of it, right? Like what, looking back, like we've talked about the different regions that are powerful, and I can imagine there's probably been some outliers here and there. Like, is there like a region that's kind of like, is there one region that has like 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 that's like kind of dominated, or is it like pretty spread?
You mean in terms of countries?
Yeah, like countries that have like won the World Cup, the Overwatch World Cup.
USA won once. I think Korea's won twice. Saudi won.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
When did USA win?
2019.
What was that?
During GOATS meta. It was when like
during GOATS meta?
Super space. That was like the peak of that generation of USA players, was like 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, reaching time. Appreciate you talking to me.
Yeah,
talking about a variety of stuff, but good luck in the rest of the collegiate season, obviously, for Winthrop. Want to add a trophy to the collection, and obviously as well with
we gotta get a varsity Overwatch trophy up here.
Yeah, we gotta get it'll be hopefully it's a big one. Go right on the top shelf.
Yeah.
Obviously with good luck in Tokyo and everything like that, and appreciate your time. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Yep.